All right, we are going to go over how to do this variables sort. So the directions say, first read the following situations, then cut out the variable pieces and sort them in the correct category. All right, so let's just take a look at what this document looks like. I know you have it in Notability, but we're going to look at this first scenario, and we are going to use these cards here for that first scenario, okay? And then number 2, number 3, and number 4 from there. All right, so let's get rid of that. Okay, Daniel wanted to know which brand of paper towels could hold the most drops of water before leaking. He went to the store and purchased 3 different brands, Bounty, Scott, and Viva. When he returned home, he took out 3 identical glasses, 1 eyedropper, and a container of water. To be fair, he measured each paper towel piece to ensure they were all the same size. Then he began his experiment and put a piece of paper towel over a clear plastic cup and used a rubber band to hold it down. Then he took an eyedropper and counted how many water droplets each paper towel held before leaking through the cup. All right, so we are going to take a look at finding the independent variable, dependent variable, and then the controls. All right, so we are going to start by picking the independent variable. So what is it that Daniel purposely changed? Purposely changed. So we're going to cut that. He purposely changed the brand of paper towels. He has up here, we can verify that we have Bounty, Scott, and Viva. So our independent variable are going to be the 3 different brands of paper towel. All right, so now let's take a look at what is measured. Okay, so just for, so we have already used the brand of paper towels. All right, so what is Daniel measuring? What is he trying to measure? So he's trying to measure the amount, the number of water droplets until it falls through the cup, right? All right, so let's find that evidence. Our dependent variable, let's find that evidence in our story here. All right, he wants to find out and which one holds the most drops of water before leaking. So that is our dependent variable. All right, so let's come down and take a look at everything else that has to stay the same. All right, we have to use the same dropper, because different droppers are going to have different size of droplets that come out. All right, so that has to stay the same. What else has to stay the same is the size of the paper towel piece, because we can't have one that's really big or doubled over or anything like that. It's got to be the same. And we see that he has done that. He goes and he talks about, just to be fair, he makes sure that they are all the same size. Okay, so let's make that red. They're all the same size. That's going to be in with our constant variable. All right, so then what else does he have to keep the same? Okay, he has to keep the same, the type of rubber band. And you guys probably do this a little neater than me. And what else does he have to keep the same? That wraps us up with the type of clear plastic cup. So it needs to be the same, because we know that there are plastic cups and they can be all different sizes. So if we had one that with larger, right, is that going to affect the numbers? Or if it's smaller, is that going to affect the numbers? That would be a variable. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Kendra knew from science class that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. She started to wonder about the freezing points of other clear liquids. She decides to conduct an experiment using vinegar, rubbing alcohol, and bleach. She pours 50 milliliters of each liquid into 3 plastic containers that are all the same. She puts them in the freezer at the same time and places the same brand thermometer in each liquid. Kendra checks the thermometer every 10 minutes and records her observations in the journal. All right, so I want you to think real quick. What do you think, before we look at that list, what do you think that she is purposely changing? All right, let's come down here and look. So what is she purposely changing? Look at our choices here. Thermometer brand, amount of clear liquid, the type of clear liquid, the container used for the clear liquid, the freezing point of the clear liquid. What she's purposely changing is the type of clear liquid, because it talks here, let's go ahead and move that she's going to use vinegar, rubbing alcohol, and bleach. All right, so then what is she going to measure? What is she going to measure? What does she want to measure? She wants to measure the freezing point of those clear liquids, because she learned that the freezing temperature of water is 0 degrees Celsius. So I wonder if vinegar or rubbing alcohol or bleach, if it also freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. All right, so that is her. A second here. Let's take a look at what we use. We use green up here. All right, so our dependent variable, she wonders if she's wondering about the freezing point of the other clear liquids. All right, so then now we know that everything else has got to stay the same. So we have to have the same thermometer brand. And she did mention that she was going to use the same thermometer brand. All right, what else? We have to use the same amount of clear liquid. All right, so let's go and take a look at what is that amount of clear liquid. All right, to verify that she indeed is having some controls. Okay, all right, she talks about 50 milliliters of each liquid. We have the same brand of thermometer. All right, so then let's see, what else do we have to keep the same? We have to have, did we do that one already? The amount, yep, I thought so. All right, so the amount of clear liquid, and so then the last one would be the container used for the clear liquid. Container, we have to have the same container, and I believe she mentions that. So she mentions here that we're going to put them in a plastic container that's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we missing anything? Nope, we got them all. Okay, so what I want you to do at this point is that I want you to do numbers 3 and 4 on your own, and follow this exact suit. Find the evidence in your text about the constants and the constant variables, dependent and dependent variable, and then I will attach the answer key for you to check your answers. But now it's time for you to do these last 2 on your own. All right?